And good morning to everybody on a morning coffee with Marcaida. And today's thought falls upon something that was mentioned to me that I thought was quite interesting. It was from a memory of training with the Force Recon Marines. One of the, shall I say, the honor was to be able to train a particular group and unit of men that have seen combat, that have actually been there. As a matter of fact, without having seen combat, it was difficult for them to get into this particular unit. So the big challenge there was when the commander requested that I train with them and or train their guys with the things that I know. And I found that to be very intimidating because I do martial arts, not the combative arts, where the modern day warriors are the actual guys who are actually going to be listening to me say what I'm doing. But the scary part is these are the guys who actually use it, not me. I'm just a martial artist. But when I asked the commander, I go, sir, one of the things here is that this is difficult for me because, number one, these are the men who've been to war, who've been downrange. But all of a sudden, you take me, a civilian. At the time, I was already a civilian with combative arts that I know to teach them. They'll see right through the art and what is real. But the commander said something quite interesting that always stuck with me all throughout these years. And he always told me this. Combat or war is just a matter of opportunity. These men just happen to be there and it's their job. They go to a fight. It's what happens. Now, we've been observing what you're doing. And Doug, you have this particular gift of taking your mind to places. And that's what he said. Where the mind has not been, the body will not follow. You have the ability to be creative with what you're doing. And because you're there, doesn't mean that you never really were there. Now, was it? And he got philosophical with the point is, can you prove that yesterday happened, really happened, or is it a memory? So being able to go back with your mind tells you that it may or may not have been real. Now, with that thought, it gave me the confidence to be able to go teach. He goes, if it's bullcrap, we'll call you on it. Don't worry about that. And they did, and I had to prove what I did, what I was doing works. After all, it is weapons, right? So all throughout after that lesson, I always thought about the idea of creativity, the idea of always visualizing things and thinking about it. Put yourselves into an idea of what you think you will be or where you want to be, because you're going to end up going over there. If there's familiarity with a vision of you being there, and then you see yourself there, then immediately the body will follow because you've already been there. Some people go, you have the ability to take yourself in very dark places. Just make sure that you know how to get out of it. So the same creativity, if I got the idea of visualizing to be in it, then I have to find a way to get out of it. And all this is the power of the mind of constantly playing scenarios in the head. What if, what if, what if? And this is how you get out of that. And in many ways, that is the martial art way, the martial way. When you're doing technique training, techniques are nothing more than what if. So he punches here, what you're going to do. If he punches there, then I'll go this way and attack that way. Then all of a sudden, well, what if he does this? And here's another question and answer. I mentioned before that a lot of drills that we do in martial arts are basically a conversation, right? If I did this, what are you going to do? Then I would do it this way. Oh, well, what if this came in? And here's my other conversation to the whole thing. So that constant banter of back and forth is a conversation I've had in my mind without what I've done. Now, how does it become reality? You make it reality. You start putting these drills or these things into use. Same thing when you become creative and you start coming up with ideas. Don't make them stay as ideas. Now the mind has gone there. The body will follow as the actual doing of what's happening. Now all your dreams are not just dreams or thoughts. They become reality. But you have to always have that ability to dream about that. You know why? Because dream is for free. I have like 100 dreams. I always tell you know what my dream is? I would love to do this and I would love to. You go, man, that's so many. How are you going to get any accomplished? Number one, the idea of having the dream is free. It's all there. Now the body will follow and I'm going to act on these particular dreams. I may not get to all of them, but I'll get to some of them. But the first thing is I got my mindset to be into that and to chase it so that my body will follow. Doug Marcaida here with a simple thought from my past. Commander, thank you for giving me that vote of confidence, and it's done a lot for me throughout my life. Again, thanks, Dragon Balls. And yes, that was his nickname. Take care.